Where on this good earth did those foul creatures come from?
So many creatures, so little time. Sure, we all remember the orcs, the Stoor hobbits, the dragons, the horses, and our personal favorite, the trees. We can't go one day without seeing the Balrog. Oh no, not that one.
Balrog.
Not quite that one either.
You shall not pass!
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. But what about the other life forms in the lore? The creatures that only appear for one brief scene or just a few lines in the massive novels. That's why we've cataloged 10 of the coolest creatures in the Lord of the Rings mythology you may not have noticed. In this video, we'll be taking creatures from Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, the 1978 animated feature, and from the thousands of pages of the Tolkien books.
This is wonderful.
10. Olog Hi Troll. We begin this journey. Wait, was Thanos hiding in the Shire after the snapping? Maybe we've been inside too long.
The finest weed in the South Valley.
Anyway, we begin this journey not with the Lord of the Rings, but with the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. In it, we see Azog marching his army of orcs on Lonely Mountain. When they arrive at a wall, an Olog Hi Troll saddles on his helmet and gives the wall a kamikaze-style football tackle. Even though he's wearing a helmet, after the hit he falls to the ground, not moving. That's why you're not allowed to lead tackles with your head in the National Football League.
That's not okay right there. This guy's already wrapped up. Oh.
Sure, he broke the wall down, allowing trolls, orcs, and goblins to purge Dale, but at what cost? With 7 different types of trolls roaming Middle-earth, the Olog Hi Troll stands out. You have to love this dark hero for serving Azog loyally and selflessly. And it's that dedication that puts the Olog Hi Troll on our list. Poor guy. 9. Wargs. Wargs! Huh! Good God, y'all, what are they good for? Absolutely? Well, something. They're good for scaring the life out of their prey. Wargs are a Misty Mountain-bred special breed of wolves in Middle-earth, and are trained like evil police dogs by the orcs to attack humans and hobbits, as well as whomever else the orcs hate that day. Gandalf said you can recognize wargs from regular wolves by the way their deceased carcasses disappear overnight. Weird. 8. Mumma Kill. The Mumma Kill, or Oliphants as they are called in Westron, were real game changers in the Battle of Pelennor Fields in The Return of the King. Much like the AT-AT walkers from the Empire in Star Wars, the Mumma Kill are a kind of prehistoric war elephant you want on your side. They sweep through the Rohan army like nobody's business, laying the smacketh downeth. Like the AT-ATs though, they are vulnerable at the legs. 7. Turtlefish. Turtlefish are creatures mentioned in the poem Fastitokalon by J.R.R. Tolkien in the Adventures of Tom Bombadil, which take place in Middle-earth. Fastitokalon is the last of the turtlefish, a legendary race of giant sea monsters, mentioned only in verse. The first verse runs as follows. Look, there is Fastitokalon, an island good to land upon. Although 'tis rather bare, come, leave the sea, and let us run or dance, or lie down in the sun. Like Mr. Spock from Star Trek, or Martian Manhunter from Justice League, Fastitokalon is the last of his race of giant sea turtles. They were so big they could be mistaken for islands. There are many monsters in the sea, but none so perilous as he, old horny Fastitokalon, whose mighty kindred all have gone, the last of the old turtlefish. It's too bad he or any of his ancestors didn't make it into any of the films. Perhaps, like the Master of Disguise, he was just not turtly enough for the Turtle Club.
Is he okay?
He's fine.
He's fine, Turtle.
6. The Boar of Everhold. The Boar of Everhold was a gigantic boar from Everhold Firian Wood near the Halifirian, at the feet of the White Mountains. Historically, it was hunted by the 13th King of Rohan, Folka. His obsession led to his demise, for he was gored by the wild, and we're assuming, delicious beast. He perished not long after this epic encounter with the last of this swine ancestor. In our private reveries, this idea of hunting down a 50-foot tall boar pays tribute to a primal fantasy of ours, overcoming a mythical creature in order to bring our world into a new balance. It seems heroic and satisfying. That's why the Boar of Everhold made our list. 5. Barrow Wights. In the Fellowship of the Ring book, Tom Bombadil gathered his fellow hobbits around a fire in his home and spoke of a shadow that came out of dark places far, far away, and the bones were stirred in the mounds. He told his brethren of Barrow Wights, who walked in hollow places with a clink of rings on old fingers and gold chains in the wind. Even just the thought of Barrow Wights made hobbits shudder and sent chills up the spines of anyone in the Shire within earshot. In a dream, Frodo was then captured by one and fell under the spell of the legendary creature, along with Sam, Pippin, and Merry. We like these cool and terrifying creatures because, in Frodo's dream, they instigated a shift inside him. He felt courage grow in his previously thought cowardly heart when he was faced with this terrifying creature. That's nice. 4. Badgerfolk. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Adventures of Tom Bombadil featured a race of creatures known as Badgerfolk. Out came Badger Brock with his snowy forehead and his dark, blinking eyes. Badger Brock was the leader of the Badgerfolk, and they lived in secret houses that were very tightly packed in burrows.
Come along in, both of you, at once. You must be perished.
Old Brock made Badgerfolk seem like great balls of fire to party with, and that's why they made the list.
When you're underground, nothing can get at you.
That's exactly what I say.
According to the poem, lamps gleamed within his house, and white was the bedding. In the bright honeymoon, Badgerfolk came treading. 3. A bear.
Like a bear?
True, we have bears in the real world.
Mommy.
You might be wondering what we're on here at the Binger. But in the real world, do we have the types of bears that eagles can drop from the sky like paratroopers to ruin your enemies? The bear in the Battle of the Five Armies is no ordinary bear. This bad boy is made for total all-out war, taking out foes like the bear-nado he is.
His name is Beorn.
Oh yeah, that's his name. You're probably thinking, oh, what's next? Will wild bunnies be on the list? Oh, believe you me when I tell you we were very tempted. 2. Elk. What is a king without his chariot? Elrond had his black horse, Gandalf the White had his white horse, Thanos had Sanctuary, Darth Vader flies in the Executor, and King Thranduil has his... elk? I know what you're thinking. In the real world, we have elk too. What's so special about Middle-earth elk? These mythical elks are gracious, calm, and cool in the heat of battle, and plow through trolls and orcs like they owe it money. King Thranduil's elk clears paths like it should be playing for the Buffalo Bills. King Thranduil does not ride an elk in the Hobbit novels, but we're glad he does now. Unfortunately, the elk meets its demise at the hands of the orcs. Fortunately, the Elvish king avenges swiftly. 1. The Watcher in the Water. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world. If Gandalf says it, you can take it to Smaug's bank. Everyone's favorite wizard uttered these dramatic words after running into the Watcher in the Water, also known as the Watcher of Moria. This creature terrorized audiences in the Fellowship so much that we can only whisper his name for fear of repercussions. Appears just outside the mines of Moria and attacks Frodo first, being attracted to the power of the ring and perhaps wanting it all for himself. In the 1978 version, we see his 11 tentacles reaping havoc on our brave heroes. That is, until Boromir chops off one of the tentacles with his sword. It then retreats and begrudgingly slams the door of Moria on them. It's number 1 on our list because the Watcher looks like the stuff nightmares are made of.
One ugly
Looking like it was real inspiration for the Predator. The Watcher in the Water... Oh no, I've said his name out loud. I'm fading away like Frodo. That must mean it's the end of the video? Yeah, it's the end. What did you think of our choices? Were there some creatures you wished we named? What was your favorite Lord of the Rings creature? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more from The Binger. See you around!